Hi YouTube, before I get started with this review, I want everyone to go to my description box and there will be a link for my Instagram account. I want you guys to click on that link and give me a follow. Also, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment below your opinions on this episode. Okay, Tyler Perry's The Oval, Season 1, Episode 18, titled Me and You. Okay, so the episode starts off where we left off last week. There is blood on Victoria's hand, and if you guys remember, Victoria dropped her earring and she was trying to find it on the floor, and somehow she touched something on her nightstand. Then she looked at her hand and there was blood. So she goes to the restroom and she washes off the blood, and Hunter, he gives an excuse and says that it was red wine. As we all know, Victoria isn't going to fall for that lie. So she begins to throw the covers off the bed. She makes Hunter get out of the bed and she moves the mattress. And under the mattress, there is a huge red stain of blood. It's a huge puddle of blood. Hunter proceeds to tell Victoria that the blood came from him trying to slit his wrist. Of course, Victoria isn't falling for that lie either, so Hunter finally tells Victoria the truth about how Denise was murdered. But he can't remember exactly what happened because he was on drugs. So I actually believe Hunter when he says that he doesn't remember everything that happened, because obviously he was on drugs. Victoria is furious. She's very angry at Hunter because he has put their family in a really bad position, because in Victoria's mind, she doesn't want this to come back on them, to haunt them in the future. And she doesn't want her parents finding out because there is a leak in the White House. Victoria thinks it is best for her to sleep in a different room for the night. And for some reason, Hunter is really surprised at the fact that not Veronica, I was thinking about the haves and the have-nots. Victoria, he is really confused as to why Victoria is angry and why she is not on his side. I don't think that he was expecting her to be caring and nurturing to her, because that's just not her personality. But I believe he was expecting her to give him some helpful advice and to express in a way that she was on his side as his wife. But she gave off this energy and this attitude like, you're on your own, and if I have to, and I'm speaking in third person on behalf of Victoria, she was the attitude, the vibe she gave off is that you're on your own, and if I have to just call my dad, I will. And every time, like I mentioned in my last review, every time she mentions having to call her dad, Hunter, he really humbles himself, and you always notice a sense of fear in him. Okay, and now we get to Donald's house. Donald and Kyle, they're in the middle of being intimate when the president calls Kyle. Donald is very worried because Victoria has found out about the Denise situation, so he needs Kyle to report to the Oval Office so that they can have a discussion. Donald wants to know if Kyle is still tracking Lily, because on the last episode, she was confused on whether or not she was going to go to the police to report her husband and everything that was going on in the White House as far as Denise. She was going to expose her husband, and it wouldn't have been good for her if she did that, and Donald was trying to warn her. But she finally decided to not do that because she had a discussion with Bobby last episode, and her plan is to stay with him. I don't know if she's still going to go through with this plan, but she's going to stay with Donald so she can get some information on him so that Donald will have no choice but to let her leave if it comes down to it. And the way it's looking, I definitely see this ending pretty bad, and Lily is going to make sure that she escapes this marriage, because I can't see her staying with Donald. Donald is very, very selfish. He's now starting to put Lily in very bad situations. He allowed Kyle to kiss on him in front of Lily, and then he was angry at Lily because she wanted to leave. I'm still confused if Donald really cares about Lily, because there are times when Donald seems genuinely concerned for Lily in a way, and like he's trying to protect her, but then the conversation always circles back around to how if Lily doesn't do what he says, it could really mess up Donald's image and what he's trying to gain as far as becoming the president. But yeah, so Donald wanted to know if Kyle was still tracking Lily. Kyle looks over on the nightstand and sees that his radio was off, so he has no clue of where Lily is. Kyle goes downstairs, and what do you know? Lily is sitting in the living room. And they have their exchange. And Kyle, he said something very disrespectful to Lily. The arrogancy there was on an all-time high. He was really arrogant about it. His clothes weren't even fully on. And he had the nerve to slowly get himself dressed in front of Lily to pretty much brag about how he just slept with Donald. And then he calls her a bitch again. Kyle has a lot of nerve to be in someone else's house, to stand in front of the wife of the person that he just slept with and then call her a bitch. He said, "I hate you, bitch." And he pointed upstairs and said, "And he will always love me." Donald comes downstairs and he gets Kyle to leave. Lily is really upset. And Kyle tells Lily that he can't guarantee that he won't be back. Lily doesn't want him to come back, but it's no telling where this whole love triangle is going to go. And I'm really wondering if there's still a part of Lily that cares for Donald, or if I wonder, does she still love him? But that's hard because it's obvious Donald doesn't really have any true feelings for her romantically. But there still seems like there's a part of Lily that was trying or that wanted to fight for her marriage until she came home and she saw Kyle come downstairs from their bedroom. Because when Kyle left, she actually told Donald how she was going to try to be more open-minded about the situation that she's in, and she was going to try to be more understanding and not as judgmental. But when she saw Kyle come down the stairs halfway dressed, it's no going back from that, especially after what happened last episode when Donald tried to kill her because she wanted to leave. And then for her to come, actually put her pride aside, come back home, and to see Kyle there. And she was downstairs listening the whole time they were having sex. Who wouldn't be upset about that? Lily tells Donald she will be in the guest room for the night. She doesn't want Donald going inside that guest room. She doesn't want to be bothered. She doesn't want to hear a word from Donald for the entire night. And Donald, he's fine with that. He's like, okay, that's understandable. And to me, I feel like Lily, she was probably really tired mentally. So that's probably why she didn't go as hard as she could on Donald and Kyle, because she was very drained. And when you think about it, technically this is the same night. No, this is the same night in the oval world, because time moves by very slow on the oval. So after everything she went through, she's probably very drained. That's why she just decided to not necessarily wave the white flag, but she decided that she just needs to get herself together and really contemplate on how she's going to get through this situation. I don't even want to call it a marriage, because it's really not a marriage. The whole time Donald was playing house with her, and he wants to continue to play house with her. So she's trying to wrap her head around everything, and that's understandable. But I felt like she was making it too easy for Donald. But then again, she was thinking about her mental health probably. Okay, in the next scene, Sharon and Kareem, they're leaving the pharmacy. Everything is boarded up. And Kareem, he found a way to convince Sharon to stay. Well, no, he didn't really convince Sharon to stay. He said he was going to stay because he was worried about his pharmacy getting looted. Sharon decided that this is just another excuse for her to stay with Kareem longer. So they decide to just spend the night at the pharmacy. Why not? I mean, they've tried to leave like 2 or 3 times, and every time they've tried to leave, they found a way to stay even longer. So they might as well just spend the night. Back at the White House, Hunter is waiting for Kyle to arrive. When Kyle arrives, the conversation starts off very civil. Kyle gives him a very reasonable explanation. At first, it seemed as though Hunter understood Kyle, but then all of a sudden he picks up a vase and he threw it at Kyle. At first, I had my reservations on Hunter doing that. However, after thinking about it, I felt as though that was Kyle's karma for how he's been treating Lily lately. However, on the other hand, Hunter knows who he can get ballistic with. He knew Kyle wasn't going to respond to having a vase thrown at him. He knew that. I don't think he would have thrown a vase at Veronica if they got into a heated argument after she discovered the blood on the nightstand. Well, maybe. Well, the thing about Veronica is she will fight back. So he would definitely think twice about throwing a vase at Veronica, especially with him being fearful of her father. He would definitely think twice. Even with Donald and Sam, those two characters, Hunter would definitely think twice before getting physical with them or throwing anything at them, because those two have the potential to fight back. Even with Lily, at first she probably would just tolerate being yelled at and constantly mistreated, but at this point, Lily would fight anyone in that White House. She does not care. Victoria doesn't trust anyone in the White House, and to be quite honest, she shouldn't. There's already a leak in the White House that's been releasing information to her parents, and with her just finding out about Denise's murder taking place in her bedroom, she's really on edge now. Veronica meets with one of the White House staff members, and she informs her to let the rest of the staff know that the first family's bedrooms are completely off limits. Even the maids can't go in there to clean anymore. She also requests for a new mattress. Later on, when the mattress is finally delivered, she tells Hunter she doesn't want Kyle to take care of this situation, so she gives Hunter an idea. She tells Hunter they can just dispose of the mattress at the White House, and if anyone asks about the red blood stain on the mattress, she'll just take the fall for it and say that she had a very heavy flow night when she had her period. And Hunter, he seems disgusted by that, but not Veronica, I keep on calling her Veronica. Victoria says, oh, you're disgusted by that, but you're not disgusted by sleeping with Denise. And she's about to leave the room, and Hunter wants to know where she's going because she's going to have to help him. And she says, no, I'm not going to help you. I'll give you the idea on what to do, but I'm not going to help you finish the task. And I feel like Hunter deserves this. He did put himself in this situation, and now it's his job to clean up the mess. During the final scene, Nancy gets Barry to confess to killing Ruth after she confronts him about the situation that happened between him and his father. I personally don't believe Barry had anything to do with the murder, only because I don't think the murderer is going to be someone we expect. But yeah, that wraps up this review. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on tonight's episode. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, check the description box below so you can click on the link to follow me on my Instagram.